Hey there, wonderful people of the internet. It's your friendly host, Mystic Kai. I'm absolutely delighted to spend this cozy evening with you on Twitch and if you're joining us on YouTube as well. I hope you're all feeling very relaxed and ready for some good vibes. Okay? Before we dive into today's session, I want to shout out the people here in chat and those of us that are quietly enjoying from the shadows. Don't hesitate to say hello and become a part of our community here. Um, our focus today is going to be a more relaxed chat. I'm going to be playing Eve Online in the background, but I know I'm late to starting my stream today, but that's because I was already streaming earlier this morning as it was my day off. Um, I am lazily setting up the haulers. Um, so I'm gonna change the title of the stream. All right. This stream should read single shard player driven consequences of hauling. That is what Eve Online is tonight. Um, we're just gonna make our way and hopefully not get blown up to other stations where I have things set up for a little bit of industry, some market stuff, anything around that kind of feel is what I'm doing tonight. And I didn't want to let anybody think I wasn't streaming tonight. I got excited and I was having a good day, and it just ran into the stream time. This is going to be a short one. It's only going to be about an hour, but that's okay. That feels like that time slot, an hour, feels like a good amount of time to me. I'm gonna pull the screen over to gameplay, and we're gonna get into the hauling aspects of Eve Online. Unknown to anybody, I have been flying away from Dodixie. I'm gonna put up a safe undock.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, so we have a Krios. If you were following us from before, I need to move minerals to Deep Nullsec. But first, we're just going to get this ship into the last safe haven before we get into truly having to pay attention and risking the ship itself and everything on board. We have 31 mil worth of items to reprocess and transport in just the cargo hold alone. And in the mineral hold, we have 200 mil, right? Like, I'm about to show you. It doesn't matter. There are all kinds of rules people want to tell you. I've got the tactics down. If somebody catches me, good on them. We're undocking. Immediately warp to your undock. To create an undock, you just fly straight out of the mouth of any trade center you frequent. And we're not going to autopilot. It's a lot of risk on the line, so we're going to manually jump to each one in high sec.
Warp drive active.
Gonna move these modules around. Okay, so we have a lot of minerals on our hands to refill our industry needs out in Nullsec. This is what I've been doing when I don't have support as a solo player, or I don't feel like paying somebody else crazy money to do the job for me. Barring jump freighter services, this is the best way I've found to do these. It doesn't have to be minerals. It can be ore. It can be anything you want, really. That requires an industrial hauler. I'm not a jump freighter pilot, and it would really be a lot of risk still if I was doing jump freighter items. I'd be better off hiring somebody to do that for me. But I don't work in that kind of volume.
Warp drive active.
I'm just mentally prepared for the sweaty palms moments I'm gonna have all night, or at least for the next hour. I've got my tea, I've got my spaceship, I've got my music, I'm good to go.
Warp drive active.
Yep, 250 million is in the cargo. We're gonna be taking this out into nullsec once we reach our final destination in high security space. I'm about to litter nullsec with epithals, or at least NPC nullsec.
Warp drive active.
Okay, so we have our full jump plan set out. We'll be hitting our first destination to mentally prepare, and then from here on out, we might stop immediately depending on gateway camps. So let's hope there are none tonight, so we don't have to swap over to a different character and kind of change things up a little bit. But the full trip is going to be 55 more jumps, We've got
Warp
6
drive
destinations in nullsec to hit, and we've got tritanium for days. For those of you watching live and possibly on YouTube, I've got this going on in my mineral hold of the Krios. So tritanium, pyrite, mexilon, isogen, noxium, zydron, and megasite. Nothing in my ice hold because I'm not moving ice. I haven't touched building blocks. That would be more of an alliance thing. And then just some random stuff I had laying around my hangar to reprocess because it was just sitting there taking up space. Not really important, but it is still another 31 million worth of stuff.
Warp drive active.
Okay. Looks like our next destination is pretty calm. I am not using a scout. I am playing hard
Docking
mode.
permission requested.
Solo account should be able to copy me. While we're still technically in high sec, let's pretend for a moment
Docking request
that
accepted.
I'm already in null sec, right? Hold that thought as I check my second account. We're doing good. We're going to jettison this. And continue mining. Okay, so let's prepare. This is more of a mental thing, at least for me, than it is I'm totally ready in the game. Like I've got everything lined up. I'm just my heart beats every time I move stuff like this. Kind of thrilling. Let's see. Why not? Wonder where I have these. Do I have these everywhere? No. I'm gonna start building these. I'm gonna bring this with us, these Amicus blueprint. What else do I got going on? I could bring Neris blueprints, but they may be too specific. Like not a lot of people. A lot of people are technically trained in epithal, so therefore the train of thought is a lot of people have access to fly Neris pretty well, but that doesn't mean people fly Nerises. I guarantee people fly epithals, but not necessarily the other thing. Okay, so few reds in system. We are going to treat this like we're already in hostile space. We're undocking. This is where making safe spot or gate tacks, as they're commonly referred to, come into play. Mine are not like on the same grid, so I don't have gate tacks, but you can certainly make them. But I warp to be within 14 AUs of the
Warp
gate.
drive active.
That's what I'm showing you here. This is my locations box. I fixed my view, so I'm looking at the gate, and then I am descanning. Nobody is there, so it's not being watched. We're looking and feeling pretty safe. It is a Wednesday night, I think. When you do hauling, you want to do it in the middle of the week. Do not haul on the weekends. It better be a freaking emergency. Like if you're doing anything on the weekend. People are just all logged in. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes even Monday, because it's a worldwide game, right? So you want to do your chores on Tuesdays, Thursdays, really, Tuesday through Thursday. So I'm hitting my V key once in a while to just make sure nobody's there. If somebody was on gate and locked me up, I wouldn't jump through. I would let them hit me first so they couldn't follow me through the gate. Ooh, like this prowler just jumped through. I'm gonna follow him. He's red, but that means nobody's gonna be on that gate with a bubble, hopefully. Yeah, alright. Perfect. We're gonna warp to my safe spot. That prowler is going the same direction. He's probably telling his friends, so we might be done in a minute. Just assume everybody talks, right? Train paranoia to level 5 and deny them content, because you have been working hard to transport all these items. It seems they might have docked in the Astra House instead of going towards or jumping through the gate. Alright. This is where a cloak might come in play. We're gonna jump though. There are only shuttles coming through.
Warp drive active.
They're probably about to get set up for a gate camp. So we're just early enough to avoid it, which is nice. So I warped to a gate tech just there. We were on the same grid. I was able to see this gate. That's what the lingo is. Okay. Got a Munin. We're jumping. If he locks us up, I just hit this. Alright, so we're docking up and taking a breather. We've got a couple hostiles in the system. I see 2 of these guys all the time. They have only been on a few kills. They're not very active. But the other 2 are marked red for me. So we're gonna relax, get them kind of used to us sitting in the system and not being able, like, knowing we're in the station. And once a few minutes have passed, we'll keep moving on. This is how you do it, okay? Or this is how I've been successful. Okay, I'm the only one in this station. They're probably in the other station, or they're flying around looking. We're gonna play industry, like kill some time here. I've got a bunch of jobs running. What do I have? I've got a bunch of research going to improve the blueprints here, to make them better blueprints. I've got one ready to deliver, but I don't have any working jobs. Let's check. Okay, I already have some ventures on market. That's cool. Shuttles are accounted for. Yes. 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 Okay. I have Neris hotkeyed, but I don't think people really buy them the way I assumed. So I know I have them listed here, but I'm not gonna make them. Instead, I'm probably gonna move over to Exploration frigates. So I'm gonna make epithals and exploration frigates. I have to drop off an Imicus blueprint right here. That's what I have to do, right? Yes, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna make a number of Imicus. I'm probably gonna make, I don't know, 30. So I'm gonna split this stack by pressing shift, dragging and dropping. Sending one there. Select Imicus, it's reading. I need Isogen. Okay, so we're gonna do the mineral hold, just everything into the item hanger. All right. Let's go with 30. Yep. And we'll come back in a day and deliver 30 amicuses to everybody here. Go back into the item hanger, sort by category, and or no, just select all and drag to mineral hold, and we'll move on. Okay. There might be a little bit of this. I don't need this second. This titanium can go. Okay, now I'll fill the rest with this titanium. Okay, feeling good. It's been a few minutes. I have a job running, so not everything is like we didn't waste our time here. I'm gonna take a moment, check our next account, then we'll move on. Okay, here we go. We're undocking. D-scan of the next jump. I am not seeing anybody on D-scan. We're gonna just jump right through.
Warp drive active.
The quicker react, the less time they have to react when you're in hostile space. Make decisions and you'll survive. Just make the first decision. Sometimes when you hit information, it'll show you average levels of capsular violence detected. That means it's quiet, like nothing's going on. Or nobody has died recently. Okay, so now we're gonna hit a groove here. If there's nobody in the system and it's less than 30 astronomical units away, we're just gonna warp to the next gate. If it was like 70, we would warp to the safe spot within 14 AU of the gate, because that's enough time for people to pile into system and see that you're there and do something about it. 30 AU is only a few seconds, honestly, and that's not enough time for them to plan for you. 2 more jumps, and we'll be at our next checkpoint. Nobody's in this system. We're gonna immediately jump. I'm gonna break my rule because it's 50 AU. So if I die, this is on me. But I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Feels pretty quiet. So, let me go over the fit while we get some time. This is just a Krios. It has a interdiction nullifier 1. That should be a 2. I don't know how that escaped me. Warp core stabilizer 2. A cloaking device.
Drive active.
A medium amsil with shield boosters, or the capacitator booster 50 in them. Large compact, and 2 small shield extender 2s. Inertial stabilizer 2 and 2 nanofiber internal structures. All this is great, and this is something you can build with nearly perfect skills. The idea of this is your align time is less than 7 seconds. It takes, if we were in a gate camp, or there was a Loki on the other side, we've got enough tank to survive the alpha, right? You need around over 4,000 alpha in your tank. So, including resistances, we're okay. We've got a hostile in this next system, but we're going to dock up. This is our destination system. Nobody's on gate, so we're good. You want to have the lowest align time to near the round number. So, like, I couldn't get it less than 6 seconds. So I brought it up to, instead of like 6.53 seconds, I allowed myself the wiggle room and got right underneath 7 seconds instead. That provides the rest of the fit with a little more survivability or flexibility. The interdiction nullifier should be a second tier, because the activation time and duration is 15 seconds. So, with a 7-second window, we will enter warp prior to the end of our interdiction nullifier. This one right here is only going to be like 10 seconds. That is a really close time between entering warp and activating the interdiction nullifier. Like, I have 3 seconds to make a decision, if that makes sense. That's why the interdiction nullifier 2 is worth it, because you have a lot more user error room on the ship. This, however, it's the same rule for the warp core stabilizer. If you're just joining us, I've got cargo. I am pulling through nullsec. We're going to be making some exploration vessels here as our way down for the next 48 jumps. I'm just hanging out. Feel free to chat. I will read it on my screen. Tell me what you like about hauling, or if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'm just filling in the blanks here with some nonsense and explanations. I'm going to be splitting the sec here for the Imicus, and we're going to make one, like 30 of them here at this location. Select everything in our mineral hold in a moment. I've got a bunch of blueprints here. I've got one Imicus blueprint. Let's see if we have epithals on market. I do have epithal, so we're gonna make the Imicus instead, and we're gonna ignore this tritanium. So all my minerals are in. I'm gonna select the item hanger. I'm gonna find the Imicus. We're gonna make 30 of these and come back sometime tomorrow on another trip and deliver them to all the happy people here in NPC Nullsec. Okay, that's it. We're gonna select all these minerals again, except for that tritanium we saw from before, unless it already stacked. Yeah, it already stacked. So we're gonna see if it all fits. Beautiful, it all fits. We are moving over 200 mil worth of materials, 250 mil worth of materials out in deep nullsec. So you know I got some sweaty palms, right? All right. This guy is a hostile. I know because I have him AFK'd. I have him, his contact listed as red. But he's docked, so we're just going to move on. He's probably not paying attention, so we're going to warp to our next destination. That's going to be how many jumps? 10 jumps out. And so this is how I haul all my stuff as a solo player in EVE Online. I'm generally successful. I have not gotten into even touching deep space transports or what's the other thing? Let's look it up together. I only use the Tech 1 haulers, right? I'm not using Tech 2 stuff at all. That's pretty much it. I want a freighter so bad, but it'd be I couldn't take it into nullsec.
Warp drive active.
Pretty close gate. This is gonna be an align time, jump and land immediately. Lucky for me, the deeper I get into this nullsec, my corporation has recently been blued by all the, or most of the denizens, so there's not a lot we have to worry about. But I am still being pretty vigilant about what we got going on here. Because 200 mil is a lot to lose for me. Some people might kind of like turn their nose at that, but this character only has like 700 mil, so that's like a third of my wealth if I get popped, you know? I really wish CCP would consider making a T3 hauler, like we have T3 cruisers, right, with mix and match parts. I want a T3 hauler that I can put like a specific cargo instead of like a weapon system. I think that'd be pretty active. Yeah, it looks like we're gonna get away with this whole trip pretty scot-free. Let me check some regional market stuff. I'm glad we picked up those exploration frigate blueprints for the Imicus. Looks like we're still king of the hill for all the other items on sale, so that's good. It's really neat
Warp
flying
drive
through
active.
and looking at all these skyboxes. Like, some people would be able to know where I am based on this skybox. Like, I know I have everything blurred, but people would take one look at that skybox and be like, "Oh, I know where you are. You're in such and such place." Pretty. It's nothing too glorious, but this is what it means to haul in EVE Online. You get pretty good pay to doing this for yourself due to
Warp
market
drive active.
arbitration. That term is market arbitration means you sell it at a higher price than like you get to decide what price it sells at because you're the only one on market, or only one of a few people on that market. You can decide whatever price you want to sell things at. For example, I do create epithals, and instead of 3.6 million, I can sell them for 6 million. And the time and effort feels good to me. If you're just joining us, I am hauling in deep NPC nullsec. I am 42 jumps away from a complete circuit.
Warp drive
We are
active.
transporting minerals to 6 or so different locations so I can build exploration frigates. And at the end, I believe I'm going to be making epithals, or I'll make epithals at the next stops as well. Yeah, so after this next one, the final 3 will also be getting epithals. Jumping gate. No hostiles. Very nice. We're gonna warp immediately.
Warp drive active.
If this was your first time, or you were in unfamiliar space, you would do a dry run first in a shuttle, right? And then you would wait until like you were 14 AU away on screen, not necessarily in your box, because the box updates after your screen. And you would make a safe spot just off gate within 14 astronomical units, and you would do that all the way to your destination. Then you would start hauling by using those safe spots. And after you've done it a number of times, you kind of get a feel for what space is going to be quiet space and what time. It's so weird, but you get a feeling of like when people are hungry, if that makes sense.
Warp drive active.
I don't even know if I like the look. I mean, the Krios is a cool looking ship. It's certainly very cool. But personally, I like the aesthetics of the Caldari better. Like, I don't know. It just looks sleek to me. I like the look of a Badger, but it doesn't serve the purpose the way I need it to. Like, it can't carry this nearly the same amount of minerals or anything like that. I really think the other trees should get like specific haulers. Like Minmatar has ammo, which is why a T3 hauler would solve that problem. So you would just reuse all the T3 stuff for the cruisers, and
Left drive
instead of
active.
like a weapon system, you would be making a new model for a cargo system or different types of cargo systems, like 4 different types of cargo systems, right? Let me see if I can't put my words into a bit of an example here. So let's just simulate the Proteus. We'll just look at the Proteus, right? The defensive subsystem would be a covert reconfiguration, right? You would want that. And then you would want maybe the propulsion system to be an interdiction nullifier. The core system would be something of your choice, depending on what they do, right? I've got a few neutrals in this location, but I know I've seen them before, so
Left
it's
drive
it's fine.
active.
I don't know whether or not we would use, for an example, we would probably use the hmm kind of dealer's choice, but I think I would go with the augmented fusion reactor, right? And then for the offensive system, instead, I would be choosing like a one of
Docking
four
permission requested.
car-
Docking request
cargo
accepted.
systems, one of three or four cargo systems. I think I would enjoy that very much. I'd pay money. Okay, so we're at our next site. We're going to drop an amicus. We're gonna drag and drop all our mineral hold. We're gonna make 30 amicuses. Imikai. We picked up all our stuff now. Yeah, we're good to continue. So we shall. I've got a number of jumps left. We're gonna jump to our safe spot because there
Left
are
drive
neutrals
active.
that I am not. I've seen some of these names before, but not enough to confidently say they're friendly. 15 jumps to our next destination. Once we're within the 14 AU, we're going to descan. There's nobody on that. And then when we go to jump or warp to jump, we're going to descan again. You can consistently descan if you're feeling a sort of way. You can just mash the V key, break the V key while you're at it. So
Left
we're
drive
good. We're going to
active.
jump. gonna warp and jump to our next location and quickly check our
Warp drive
secondary
active.
account. Recall those drones, warp to home, and
Warp
tab
drive
back
active.
in. Okay. When we get another chance, we're gonna kind of babysit the second account real quick. But it's gonna have to wait really until we reach our next destination to truly get into things. That's okay by me. The second account is supposed to be purely like supportive. Like I don't really mind or care what happens. There is some lore behind the suns in these systems, or the reason
Warp
they
drive
look the way
active.
they do. Um, I can't recall them, but I think they are very cool looking.
Docking.
Why not? I think this is fun information to share. Um, we'll have it open for people to see.
Warp drive active.
Okay, so it looks like Noxium is kind of the most expensive. Isogen right behind. But Isogen is looks to be like more of a bottleneck because the volume, the volume is way more. Tritanium is easy to obtain, but Isogen is one of the most difficult to obtain minerals now. Um, and the volume at which it's used in builds and constructions makes it so valuable. So access and volume decide the
Warp
collective
drive
value of these
active.
things. What an enormous warp tunnel. I'm gonna take advantage of that time to do what we gotta do on our second account.
drive active.
Yep, sorry for the silence. I just had to drink some tea and sort myself out in real life. Okay, getting closer. Starting to feel
Active.
the weight, right? Like it's getting late, and I'm losing steam here. I've got 8 more jumps. And then we will set the industry tabs in for the epithal and the imicus, and call it the end of stream then. Just gotta hang in there. We are still wired. We are still hauling expensive cargo. We are totally ignoring the Eve Wiki rules because rules are for tools, are for fools. If it can fit 75,000 meters cubed of stuff, by God, I will fit it in there. Okay, a bunch of blues. I'm gonna say hi. Always say hi.
Warp drive active.
Always say hello in local. Because in the future, if they're red, they might remember you. They might. They might not give you a hard time. You know, at the end of the day, we're all people. We're all human. And we don't want to be mean to each other. It's a game. So don't take it so serious. We're gonna see if there's another long warp, and we'll check our second account. Yay! Somebody said hi. Okay, we got time. We'll check the second account.
Warp drive active.
Still plenty of time. I really know there are a lot of people that are super vocal about the scarcity problem, like only certain ores in high sec, only certain ones in low sec, and only certain ones in null sec. But honestly, it has leveled the playing field for people like me to compete with other industrialists that have been here for years,
Warp
and
drive active.
makes logistics a little harder, a little more expensive. And so they don't decide to take the entire market. So that opens up markets for me and people like me. And that's really awesome. I've always wanted to do this, but I was unable to because he couldn't compete. But now I can. Uh, or that's been my experience.
Warp drive active.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to use some blue infrastructure too.
Warp drive active.
Nearly there. Just 4 more jumps. If I didn't have access to these, I would probably have like 20 more jumps in between all the locations. Well, maybe not that exaggerated, but still, it saves me like a lot. All right, 8,000 more LP. Thank you, Init. Super nice. Getting closer.
Warp drive active.
I'm starting to get excited. It's always such a silly thing to get to your destination. You start feel your heartbeat like, oh yes.
Warp drive
Ooh,
active.
that might be fun. What is Trollmaster? Thank you, Trollmaster, for your service. This might be it. I might die. I'm getting greedy. Let's see what happens. Nobody's there. Nobody's there. Perfect. Now all we have to do is dock. Okay. And nobody's on gate. We're gonna dock.
Warp drive active.
The D-scan is clear for the station. Look at that skybox. What a beautiful place to be at the end of the journey, right? We just warped through that planet. And we are at our
Docking permission
destination
requested.
here.
Docking request accepted.
Okay, same as before. We're gonna select all our items, our minerals, put them in the item hanger. We're gonna find our amicus and split the stack and make 30 of them. Ooh, we might be short on them. No worries, we will take these items. and reprocess them. That's why I did this. Turning junk into goodness. Okay, I'm gonna have to make a little less than 30. Starting to think. Should I check? I want to check the epithel imprint. It does not use Maxilon, so we're good. We're gonna make less than 30. We're gonna make 5. Just to see how they do. We're gonna check our epithel blueprint. There's no way I'm making 73. That's crazy. We are gonna make a handful of them, but not very many. We're gonna make like 3. No, let's see how many I can make first. Okay, we can make 15. I've got 2 more stops. I'm gonna make 5 here. And that is it. So in summary, we traveled from Dixie all the way 27 jumps into Nullsec successfully. We didn't run into any gate camps. We were prepared for them. We've still got 23 more jumps to go. It's going to be more of the same, so whether or not it gets streamed, I don't feel terrible about it. It's going to be the same content, but I wanted to share it with everybody here, and everybody on Twitch and on YouTube have an opportunity to see this as well. Again, the tactic was less than 7. T2 interdiction only, T2 warp core stab, even though I made a mistake and got a T1. So align time first, your anti-catchers, a cloak, because sometimes you have to cloak up and wait people out at your safe spot, and then tank to avoid getting alpha'd. And that's it. Thank you for spending your time with me on this channel. If you enjoyed it, please consider following, sharing, subscribing, liking, commenting. It all helps to build and be a part of this community all together. I hope you have a good night, and I will see you next time.